When we approved
Yeah,
it,
there
we
was-
were
Today is March 18, 2025. The Lawrence Board of Zoning Appeals is called to order at this time. I will need a motion and a second for the approval of the minutes. Probably need to do each one individually. Please. Okay. The first one being November 19, 2024. Do I have a motion and a second?
I'll make a motion for November 19th minutes be approved.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Minutes stand as written. I need a motion and a second for the December 17th, 2024.
I move for the minutes of December 17, 2024 to be approved.
I'll second.
All those in favor to approve the December 17th, 2024 minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Minutes stand as written. I need a motion and a second for the approval of the minutes from February 18th, 2025.
Also moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor of approving the minutes from February 18th, 2025 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Minutes stand as written. If you've not done so, please sign in at the back of the room. And anyone wishing to speak tonight, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Answer with I do. Thank you. Do we have any special requests tonight, continuance, withdrawals, or waivers? There being none, we'll go with old business, which is 25-LAP-01, 7140 East 46th Street, partial 4000054, City of Lawrence, LDC number 1, Zone C4, Lorraine Hogue Jackson, has requested administrative approval to continue the special exception use approved for a one-year term, Viva Variance 23-LSE-08.
So, I'm here today, they had,
You have to speak up, Lorraine.
oh, over here? Okay, I have been requested to make sure a ventilation was put in to the building the last time I was here. So I did have that done, and I brought the pictures so they could see that if you want to see them. Thank you.
And this is which one again?
For the first one, 7140,
Okay.
we had asked that she put ventilation in. Sorry, that's upside down.
Yeah.
It was that.
Right.
No, that's, okay.
I mean, I don't, no, I did what was requested, so if you have any questions, you can let me know.
Yes, I do. Transitional living, how exactly are you defining that?
Transitional, well, like I explained before, I have different populations of people, elderly, people that may have schizophrenia, some that are just trying to get their life together. But where I'm at are the ones that really have to have their medications administered and things like that. My other places, you know, people are pretty much on their own, and you know, they're just following their goal plans to move forward. But these just need more care, and they're at a point where they need some quality of life. And so that's my way of giving that.
So do you have nursing staff, medically qualified staff
Well, I'm a
then?
nurse myself,
All right.
retired, but I do have staff there, yes.
The staff, though, that what, are they RNs, are they,
Well, I don't have to have an RN in there, but I have the healthcare aides that come in and assist and do things
so
to
when,
care for them.
so
But
when
I
you,
mean, they're able to do things for themselves, but, you know, we just assist them.
so you have elderly in there, and is that, you said elderly was a category. Is that, these are elderly people who cannot care for themselves because dementia, Alzheimer's,
And some of them,
and some of them because of health conditions?
yes.
And so you also then have people who have schizophrenia
Mm-hmm,
and various mental health conditions.
mm-hmm.
And then do you also have people who are going through rehabilitation from drugs or alcohol or anything?
I sometimes have them, you know, they do call me.
So
You know,
are
the
these all separated by, how many beds do you have total?
let's see, one lady upstairs, and 6 and 6. But I'm not full all the time, you know what I mean? But
Right.
I can't hold 12.
Okay. So you can hold 12, and then, and so, and everybody's kind of mixed together then because it's a small space.
No, they have pretty good space in there.
No, oh yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, but like you don't have like a special ward for people who have mental illness or,
No, I don't
people who
want them
have
to feel like
Alzheimer's.
they're in an institution. I have it set up like they're in a home, like in their home, but it's not their home, but it is their home, where they live. And so we just do a little extra for the people where they're not just put away. People don't come and visit them. I mean, I take them out. I take them on trips. And when I say trips, I take them on trips. We went to Mount Rushmore last year. So it's just they're at a quality of life. I just kind of see things a little different. I mean, I understand how they do it, but sometimes people have plateaued out of all the groups, all the different places that they could send them, but they just need some quality of life.
So
That's what I do.
I'm looking at, have you had a chance to look at these emergency runs to your facility?
The emergency, that's if someone gets sick. Yeah, if they get sick,
Is staff there 24/7?
yes, because I'm there 24/7.
So, okay, so we have people who have some medical conditions, but I see you had 1, 2, 3 DOAs last year.
Those were elderly people. One was 90-something, that was my little lady. I've had her for like 5 years. And then some of them have conditions, like I have one now that's going through chemo and radiation. I mean, you know, you just don't know.
And so what about, then you have, it looks like people have mental,
Well, yes, but they will do that. I'm not the only facility that suffers that. When they get angry, it could be they didn't get cookies and milk, or someone took their potato chips. It is an abuse, and I talk to them about it. And then other things happen as well sometimes. When they call me emergency sometimes to take people, because they do call me, and I'm contracted with the hospital. So when they come, a lot of times when they get these people, they don't have family. I have to wait maybe 2 weeks to get the medicine, and all I can do is just try to keep them at bay till we can get them in, because you just can't walk in now. Sometimes it takes weeks to get into a doctor. I've built up a rapport with some that try to, you know, expedite things a little bit because they do need their medication.
well, I'm just, you've had like 37 emergency runs between police and fire in last year, which is about 3 times, a little over 3 times per month. So that's, and they're all for different types of things. I realize that when people reach certain points in their lives, they need certain kind of care, but you also call it transitional living, which is, I think of transitional living, and maybe I'm wrong, staff may know if there's one, if the code defines it or something, but transitional living as where, like people recovering from rehab, alcohol, drugs, so they have to have a place to stay as while they transition into sobriety. People who have a medical condition that they're recovering from, so they transition into this. Yours, are these people on hospice? Do they come in on hospice?
No, I mean, not really. I don't take any hospice patients. But you got to understand, some of these people that have breathing problems or whatever, they really get afraid. Before I can maybe tell them something, they have their phone, they've already called. But, I mean, so most of the time I can calm them down. But there are people, a lot of them, that they've been by themselves, and that's all they know until you work with them. You just can't bring people in that have been other places, you don't know them, and you're trying to build a rapport for them to be, you know, just 100% what you want. There are no panaceas, I don't claim that, and there are none. But what I do is I really try to give these people hope. I try to show them that there's love out there for them, even though maybe family has disowned them or whatever, they still can feel like they're with a family and that they have a home, not an institution.
So you referenced having more than one facility. How many places do you own?
I have some other places that's totally different, though. It's not like this. I work with families. I have people that come in, young people, you know, they send me a lot of people. Maybe they just really don't know how to budget their money. So I've worked with them, maybe help them get a house, you know, rent a house, put them on a goal plan where, you know, they have to do certain things so that they can move forward. I've had, 2 years ago, I had someone send a family to me, and they just kind of ran into hard luck. They both lost their jobs in Kentucky, where they were coming here to maybe try to find another job or whatever, but in the interim, they really didn't have anywhere to stay, and they were staying in the van with the children trying to, I guess, get it together. So anyway, someone called because they noticed that the children were taken away. So I helped them get the place, get it all set up, because I know about that stuff, and I helped them get their children back. Now, they stayed with me for about did everything, they were really doing really well. But I think either the husband or the mother's mother became really ill and they had to move back to stay with her. But I have good success, I mean, with what I do, I just do it a little different.
So I would then guess that the funding for your
I don't
facilities,
get funded,
no one pays you to do this?
no. I said this is my way of giving back, my books are open book. I do this because I sincerely believe that we have to give back and we have to help people.
So how do you pay, like, the monthly utilities, the cost of
Now,
the building?
I explained that last time, they have their program fees that they pay to cover for wherever we're living, the insurance, utilities. But as far as all my time or whatever, I just donate that.
Okay, so, but your staff gets paid and everything, right?
Yes, they get paid.
So then, where does the money come from for their program fees and the money?
They
that-
have Social Security, a lot of them have
Okay,
Social
that's
Security.
what I was
Yes.
wondering.
And
Okay,
they have case managers that manage that.
okay, so then I have one more question, I'll leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Staff I was not here for the last one, so
Oh,
thank you for your
okay.
patience, I'm trying to.
Yes,
She is a new
I
member.
understand. I get it.
Yes. So I was just wondering, why was this given a temporary variance the last time?
That was one of my questions. I think we had an issue about occupancy and the fire department approving your occupancy last time. Did that happen?
Yes.
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 Everything's been approved, she's done everything.
I
that
complied
building
with
or
everything.
Fire asked her to do. during
And
it.
everything we asked her to do last time?
Yes, the reason you wanted her back here was to reevaluate, make sure that it was fitting well within the neighborhood, and that she did everything that the fire and building department asked her to do to bring it into compliance.
And I take it, staff, that you all looked at, I don't know who licenses these or checks on them or anything else, so I take it there's been no complaints filed, no problems with
Correct.
the reports being filed or anything
Yes,
else
ma'am.
like that? But, and so it's in C4, but is that, am I looking at the right one? Yeah.
Which does
C4.
allow nursing homes or drug rehabilitation facilities, very similar to the one we heard last month. And he has determined that they are one and the same, and we reaffirmed that last month. So this fits in that category, and the zoning is appropriate now.
Okay, and then the D5, you've had no remonstrators or anything
No,
from
ma'am.
from the neighborhood?
Nope. And she's done notice twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done notice twice.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Well, I was there the first petition, so welcome back, Miss Lorraine, it's good to
Thank
see you. And I remember, we did the 1 year because that was the only, that was the best we could do at the time, based on all the information that was available. So I'm glad to hear we had the fire marshal approve your occupancy. My question was gonna be, and I remember this happened, that she signed the lease and was not aware that the zoning
Right.
wasn't appropriate, so also I'm glad the zoning got corrected. My biggest question is, how's it going with the neighbors? I see nobody's here.
Well, we're just, to us, it's a really big building.
Yeah.
And we have a huge yard, and I have it all set up with tables, so they're there. They never go out really to smoke. Sometimes I let them go out the side, because they don't want to be in the yard all the time, and they are in the neighborhood. So the staff takes them out, they just smoke, and they come back. They're lazy, a little of them, some of them, they don't want to do anything. They don't want to do anything, but that's just where they are, so.
Okay. Well, good to hear, because I remember we had that one gentleman who threw out a lot of hypotheticals.
Oh, yeah, I
remember.
was just-
I
yeah.
remember that hearing, because I think it was a split decision. And I think the way that we passed was for you to come back. So I am glad that you came back. I mean, it
I
shows that
did,
your
yeah.
organization didn't fold. I mean, I think it shows, I think you returning is kind of a testament to what you're doing. So I really was hopeful that we'd see you back and that things would be
Yes, well,
going well.
thank you.
So I am glad to see you back.
And I did comply with everything. And
That's wonderful.
I'm just hoping, maybe people may not want to do exactly what I do, but it's always something that is needed
It's a thankless job.
to help, get back. And no, a lot of people, I mean, they ask me, they'll say, but you don't get paid, I worked 42 years, I mean, I live with what I have, I've invested in
This is a
it.
corporate entity, right? This is owned by a corporation, an LLC, or,
LLC.
and you are the primary shareholder of the
I'm the
LLC,
person
correct?
that owns it, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, thank you all.
Good to see you back.
Any other questions? Now, this administrative review will stay with this until she either sells, moves out, correct?
Correct.
She will not have to come back again?
Unless you guys want to see her. back
When's
in
the
here.
lease up? When's your lease up?
Let's see, this is my 3rd year. I have 2 more years and I'm gonna renew if my health holds out. Because the old lady's moving toward 8, so I gotta watch it a little bit. But I just stay prayerful and hopeful I can still do that because I've did really well with communicating to people in the hospital settings. I mean, the legal system knows me, and I don't change, it is what it is with me as I am, but I'm gonna do it the right way. And so when you all asked me to do all these things, it was a little something, and so I talked to the owner, and, I had did so much to that building, it's not my building. And so we talked about it, and he does like what I'm doing. So he went on and got the system just done, so we were able to get that out.
He was, I remember he was one of your big supporters, so.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
So if something should happen to you,
Mm-hmm.
right.
then
It's
where would
specific
this
to her.
fall, this administrative, and someone else would come in instead of you?
Well,
They'd have to come back and get
They'd have to
approval.
come back.
Well,
It's
does
specific.
it run with the company, or does
No,
it run
it's-
with
it's
the
with
land?
her.
Petitioner.
No,
So
it's
it's
with me.
petitioner.
Okay, but she is the petitioner on this, but
The original variance was granted to
To her
her
specifically.
and Lorraine Hoag Jackson, and this specifically it doesn't run with the property.
Right.
Right.
It
It
runs
was
with the mother.
specific to her and her business plan.
And then I'd like to say this, if something would happen to me, the people, they all have case managers, so they would just place them somewhere else. And then, my children would have to, finish, cleaning up whatever I'm leaving there, but, yeah, it's not like someone would just come in, and take it over, it would just be done.
I don't want to throw a wrench in the works, but technically, if the variance goes to her and it's being used by a business, that
It's
business,
her business plan.
but her business plan, but it is a corporate entity, which means it stands independently from her.
The way we wrote the variance
Yeah.
was that it was approved per the business plan that she provided and only to this petitioner.
I know, but I'm just saying that in the future, you might want to think about how you construct these. I mean,
Okay.
I think this is fine, but in the future, when you have a corporate, technically, for them to be able to use it under this variance, then there should be some kind of agreement between the LLC and her. It's unusual to see something go directly to the individual when it's a corporate entity that's operating the business.
way
That's
she
why I was
applied for the
wondering.
I disagree
variance
because
was
of the
under her
Articles of
personal name.
Incorporation. Under the Articles of Incorporation, it would run to her.
Well, it would run to her as shareholder. She's in an LLC, so that she's either a member or the manager.
Managers. Shareholders are for incorporated.
Right.
entities.
So I'm saying, so as the LLC. So that's what,
It's a
she didn't
pass-through
sign
for
this,
her.
it's a pass-through, but she didn't sign it for as member or manager of this LLC. That's not how this was phrased. That's all I'm saying, for the future. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay? Thank you. Any other questions for her? Thank you.
All right.
We'll hear for any remonstrators that are for or against the petition. there be counselors here tonight? Do any of the, care to speak? I do, you didn't swear, you didn't? Come on, no, come on. No, come on. I said, just raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank
Liz
you.
Mazur. I think that this is a person who's doing something that she feels is making the world a better place, and I support what she's doing.
Okay, thank you. Any other counselor? Okay. We'll hear from the City of Lawrence. Renee,
City of Lawrence supports this petition.
thank you. Petitioner, do you have anything else to add? Okay. Then the board is ready to vote, correct?
Okay, and we're voting to accept the year extension. In effect, this is the last,
This is the last one.
okay.
The board is going to be voting on 25-LAP-01, 7140 East 46th Street, parcel 4000054, City of Lawrence, LDC number 1, Zone C4. Lorraine Hogan Jackson has requested administrative approval to continue the special exception use approved for 1-year term viva a variance of 23 LSE 08. Okay. The board has voted unanimously to grant the administrative approval. The board will hold new business, 25 LSV 03, 10143, Pendleton Pike, partial 4000319, City of Lawrence Zone LCD number 4, Zone CS. Oregon Outdoor has requested a variance of development standard to relocate an existing off-premise billboard due to reconstruction on Pendleton Pike.
Hello, my name is Michelle Knoppenberger at 511 Madison Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46225, on behalf of Reagan Outdoor Advertising. Good evening, Chairperson and members of the board. I am here this evening to present our petition 25-LSV-03, located at 10143 Pendleton Pike, for a variance of development standards of the city's ordinance. If you would please take a look at the presentation packet I passed out and turn to the second page. Thank you. Reagan Outdoor has been in business for 60 years and is owned by Bill Reagan Sr. and his 3 children. Reagan Outdoor has 7 markets, including our Indianapolis, Indiana market. The Reagans have helped out the communities we are a part of by paying it forward to various causes, like the American Red Cross, United Way, and the YMCA, to name just a few. On page 3, there is an off-premise billboard sign owned by Reagan Outdoor Advertising that exists at 10305 Pendleton Pike in Lawrence, Indiana, located on the Crew Car Wash property. As a result of a State of Indiana Department of Transportation road improvement project at 56th Street and Pendleton Pike, this project requires the partial taking of the parcel at 10305 Pendleton Pike and the removal of our sign, which has existed over 36 years. The top left 1990 Map Indy aerial photo shows the off-premise sign that existed, and the image to the bottom left shows the location of the current sign from the 2024 Map Indy aerial view. The 2 photos to the right are Google Street View photos of the current off-premise sign that is scheduled to be removed. Page 4. Pursuant to NDOT rules and regulations and in conformity with state statute, this off-premise sign is eligible for relocation as it is permitted to be relocated within the market area of the current location under Indiana Code 82320-25.6, which is referenced here. I would like to point out the highlighted text to the left, section 25.6J, which states that Reagan Outdoor may relocate the outdoor advertising sign if the parties have not entered into a final settlement agreement or no final judgment has been entered with the state, which is true for this location. NDOT received the right of possession on December 30th, 2024, within this area for the construction of the Pendleton Pike and 56th Street project. Reagan Outdoor is still eligible for relocation within the city of Lawrence, which is the market area. Under NDOT rules and regulations, outdoor advertising structures are allowed in commercially and industrial zoned parcels. Page 5, under Indiana Code 8-23-20.5-3, if the variances are not granted, the financial difficulty would be imposed on the city of Lawrence, with the total taking cost likely to reach up to $1 million. Page 6. I have included the details of our petition, which we have petitioned for the variances of development standards of the Consolidated Zoning and Subdivision Ordinance to provide for the relocation of a legally established outdoor advertising sign due to a road improvement project by a state agency, of which the relocated off-premise sign's proposed location is in the CS Commercially Zoned District, allowing a pole sign with a maximum square footage of 672 feet, within 413 feet from an outdoor advertising sign measured radially and located within 6 feet of a protected district and partially above a primary building and a 6-foot setback from Pendleton Pike. On page 7, you'll see the proposed location with the gold star is approximately 582 feet in distance from the structure to be relocated, where the Crew Car Wash property is. Page 8, NDOT's 56th Street and Pendleton Pike Road Improvement Project, number 1900157, is detailed on this map. The yellow star represents the current location of the sign to be removed, where NDOT is relocating the 56th Street turning lane along with additional right-of-way. The dotted red line that's I have a little bit enlarged on the left side shows the new permanent right-of-way, which doesn't allow us to relocate on the same parcel. And Crew Car Wash wasn't, wanting us to relocate anywhere else on the parcel, which was very limited also. Page 9 is a more detailed description of NDOT's 56th Street and Pendleton Pike Road Improvement Project, which will allow for dual left turns and reducing wait times at red lights. Let's see, page 10. The structure on the Crew Car Wash property to be removed is a V-type, back-to-back, 14-foot by 48-foot bulletin monopole with illumination. The structure will continue to be a V-type, back-to-back monopole structure, with each static facing being 14 feet by 48 feet in advertising space size and directed towards Pendleton Pike. The structure will also continue to be illuminated by lights affixed to each side of the structure. Page 11, we show the current zoning for this location as CS, Special Creative Negotiated Commercial District with a commercial land use classification. Page 12, we show the site plan showing the dimensions of the proposed sign to the parcel perimeter. And then on page 13, here's an enlarged 1990 GIS aerial view from MapIndy showing our off-premise sign to be removed, which has existed over 36 years. A lot's changed since then. So page 14, we are requesting a distance of 413 feet between an outdoor advertising sign measured radially, as the current ordinance restricts the distance to 1,000 feet. And then on the next, page 15, the outdoor advertising sign that is approximately 413 feet from our proposed location was built between 2003 and 2004. As you can see from the GIS aerial views, the structure to be relocated was built in 1989. Due to special circumstances with the need to relocate the off-premise billboard sign, there is a need for flexibility as the existing sign was not previously subjected to. Page 16. The 6-foot distance from a protected district is measured to the zoning perimeter, which are the orange lines that you see here on this map. The parcel to the west is Quail Creek Mobile Homes, is owned by Coron Investments LLC, which is also the owner of the parcel of the proposed structure. The closest residence to our proposed off-premise sign location is approximately 560 feet in distance. And then on page 17, we have a photo for eastbound traffic that has a mock-up photo of the west-facing panel and structure, which is our right-hand read. And then now we have a photo for the westbound traffic, a mock-up of the east-facing panel and structure, which is our left-hand read. And then on page 19, the lighting that is to be used is very similar to what is on the current structure. And the proposed structure will have the sign view LED 3 lights directed towards each face. Page 20, here's a copy of the letter of support from Coron's Investment LLC, who owns the parcel for the proposed off-premise sign location, as well as owning the parcel to the west, which is the Quail Creek Mobile Home Community, and the parcel to the east, which is a continuation of the Never Enough Storage Facility. I didn't know if you wanted me to take the time to read the letter. No, okay. And then the next page on 21, one of our advertisers on the current structure to be removed for our east face is with MSD Lorne Township Schools, and Superintendent Sean Smith has written a letter of support as well. On page 22, the City of Lawrence advertises on the structure to be removed on the west face for eastbound traffic. Here's a couple photos of some of the advertisements that we've had. And then on the last page, other opportunities an off-premise sign can present to the local public service and community outreach advertising campaigns, such as Friends of Indie Animals posting adoption photos, and our collaboration with the Indie Arts Council for our High Art program, to name a few. And that's it. And I don't know if anybody has any questions.
I'm going to miss not seeing it when I drive by there all the time.
It'll work very similar to what, I mean, you'll still be able to see it
Right,
when
right.
it's all done.
Yeah.
And that's done with the realignment,
But as far as placement of billboards, that's probably the best one in the whole city.
right?
I mean, that's the truth. That's
Yeah.
the
The
truth.
present one is.
Totally agree with you.
So, yeah, I mean,
Totally agree.
So we don't really consider content, although, I mean, I appreciate all the things, and the letter of support from your, from the people who advertise on your billboard.
Sure.
I think it is really sad, the placement has to be moved. But as far as granting a variance, I mean, this is kind of the classic, you have a unique hardship, you're in a completely commercial area, so it's not really affecting the public. And it's not, I think as far as safety concerns, it's just moving a block away, but.
Well, they're not asking you to be upgraded to an LED.
Right.
Right, and it's
Right.
not even,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, like all the billboard ones, this is like the
Yeah.
classic. Oh, God.
Yeah,
Can we use this
everything's
as like a case?
You-
Trust me, we were heartbroken. We found out NDOT wanted to take this location. I was like, no.
I mean, it really is good placement, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old one is so good.
Yes, yes.
You
Definitely.
give a discount to the city?
I'm sure we
and
do.
not for
Yeah.
profit?
I don't know, yeah.
What?
Sales is completely opposite of what I do, so yeah, I'm not
Okay.
exactly sure.
We don't care.
That's for-
But no,
that's
we
for the
do
business
care,
place.
but that's a
care,
whole,
yes.
that's a whole different
It's a
hat.
great location for anybody traveling Pelham
Yeah.
Pike, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, you have the support of the property owner. I think, I think this is kind of like the quintessential variance. We have a very unique situation happening. But it is, as far as billboard placement goes, it is kind of sad.
It
Are they
is.
putting sidewalks in? Actually, I didn't realize this project was happening.
I believe they are, yes.
Then, okay.
So, yes, I didn't
sorry, you gotta
include that
move.
on my layout, but they did include sidewalks as well.
Because that is important for public health and safety.
Yeah.
the
Definitely,
sidewalks, so.
yes, yeah, definitely.
I've only been in Lawrence for a little over a year and a half, so I'm not as familiar with this billboard as my colleagues are. And I usually try and go and drive and see them, but I am right now in the throes of a house renovation, and I've been dealing with all kinds of
that's
stuff.
exciting.
So,
Could be exciting, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I have to ask you this question. Why would a school district write a letter of support for a billboard company?
They advertise on one of the faces.
Yeah, but
and
that's not,
I-
I just find that really unusual.
Okay.
I've never seen a school board taking a position on something like this. That's why I was just wondering.
The superintendent was very thoughtful in doing that for us.
So,
yes.
okay, so as I understand, and this law, it's my first time dealing with this law. I chaired the mayors of Indianapolis's, their billboard committee, 2 different times that it went, that we revamped the legislation, but I've never dealt with this aspect, so it's kind of interesting.
Sure.
So, what this is saying is that when you come in and the state takes it by eminent domain, then you're given a choice. You can either work out a settlement with the state of Indiana, or you can say, we would prefer to go to the city of Lawrence and try and work out a variance. I mean, to try and work out a new location.
Correct, yes.
But even though it says that if we turn you down for some reason, one of the code provisions says that you have to, all billboards must comply with the code provision. Obviously, since you're seeking a variance, the sign does not completely comply with the code.
Correct.
So then it says that if we don't give you a special exception, but it doesn't say on what grounds we have to give you a special exception, then the city of Lawrence then becomes responsible for settling with you. And I don't know, I mean, I have a trouble thinking that if the law was written like this, then certainly somebody should be looking at it, because basically what's being argued here is that, okay, City of Lawrence, we get to pick. Do we get paid by the state of Indiana, or are we going to come over here and hold a gun to your head? Because it's our choice as the company. So therefore, we're going to come to Lawrence, and you have to give us whatever we want.
I don't
Is that what it's saying? That's what I'm wondering.
Under the state constitution, they can do eminent domain, but they have to first tender payment for the land that they are seizing. So that's where she's at. And so what she's trying to do is lay the groundwork as far as zoning goes, so that when they tender to take the property, then she will have a plan in place to transfer the billboard to a new location.
Well,
It's
but-
just planning.
Well, that other statute, though, that statute says that notwithstanding, if they've filed an action, parties have not entered into a final settlement agreement, or no final judgment has been entered, the owner may relocate the outdoor advertising thing under this section. So if they haven't reached an agreement regarding the value of the land, and I'm not even sure, does Reagan own that land where it's currently sitting?
We do not, we have a lease. with
So they
her.
wouldn't get that money for the land itself. What they would get is the money for the value of their billboard and its use over the years. And then that would also then be subject to, I don't know how long your lease is for.
I don't know if I have enough time to give a primer on eminent domain, but I think we're sound here.
Well, I'm just asking. I mean, and I think I have that right to ask that question. So, and that is why, so what exactly is the subject of your variance? What is it? Refresh me on that one.
NDOT is removing our billboard sign.
No, I know that,
for road
but how
improvement.
does
We
it not
just want to
meet-
move to another location.
But how does it not meet with the zoning?
I'm sorry?
The zoning ordinances? What requires you to get the variance? Because what part of the zoning ordinance does it not meet with? Is it because, are you getting variance of use, variance of,
The variance of development standards.
yeah?
So we need to, the proposed location is in CS zoning, which is a commercially zoned location. But with billboards, I believe there's only certain commercial districts that they allow, like C7, I know is one of them. I can't remember some of the other ones. So CS would be one of the variances. And then we have the distance from another billboard, Radley, which wasn't subject to
Right.
previously when it was first installed. The distance from a protected district, the distance or the setback as well
Right,
from Pendleton
right,
Pike, or, and then I can't remember some of the other
There's
ones.
7 of them, and they're on
Right.
page 2.
Right, so there's quite a number that are of variance and such, and
Which the billboard wasn't subjected to back in 1989. So we just want to be made whole, and that's why we're going through this process of the variances, since obviously the
Right.
ordinances have changed since then.
well, in the, you weren't subjected back to for it in 1989, because those weren't the requirements then, right?
Correct, yes,
And those are the requirements though now, because we've taken
correct,
a tougher stance regarding billboards and such within the city.
correct, yes.
Or the county. Okay. All right, thank you very much. You've been
Thank
very
you.
patient, thank you.
Yes.
Board have any other questions at this time for the petitioner? Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll hear from any remonstrators for or against the petition. Counselors? City of Lawrence?
We are in support of this petition.
Thank you. Petitioner, do you have any other comments?
So the off-premise sign to be relocated was not previously subject to the variances requested today. As a result of the need to relocate our sign due to NDOT's US 36 Pendleton Pike and 56th Street Road Improvement Project, our goal is to just have a sign that is functional in the proposed area where we can keep the same type of situation that we have as NDOT requires our interest and would avoid a negative outcome with significant injury to the city of Lawrence, economic injury. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Board ready to vote? Board is voting on 25 LSV-03, 10143 Pendleton Pike. Reagan Outdoor has requested a variance of development standard to relocate an existing off-premise billboard due to reconstruction of Pendleton Pike. Okay. The vote is 4 to grant and 1 to deny. So it's been granted.
That would be too well.
Thank you. Is there any other business at this time? Then the Lawrence Board of Zoning Appeals is adjourned. Renee needs everyone to stay and sign.